Okay, hi everybody, and welcome back. This week we're going to be talking about understanding different perspectives. Okay, kind of similar to what we talked about last week with understanding how people can have different feelings. We're going to see how we can have the same situation and people having different perspectives about the same situation. Okay, so we're going to start by just watching this video and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so from watching that video, we could see that The two characters in it had two very different perspectives about what was going on. Okay, so they had the same situation, which was there was a box of cookies on the bench, right? But they saw this very differently. The grandma, I call it the old lady, I call her the grandma, said, "He's taking my cookies. What a jerk." And the boy was thinking, wow, she must be really hungry. I'll share with her. Okay. And then by the end, when the grandma saw what really happened, she was able to see his perspective. Okay. But at first, they had very different perspectives on the same situation. Okay. So we're going to be talking about different perspectives and thinking about what do you perceive. And if you take a look at this picture here, we can see that two people can perceive the same thing in very different ways. Okay? Perceive means to see or understand something. So we have one person seeing it and understanding it as a 9, and the other person seeing it or understanding it as a 6. We don't always see or perceive things the same way. Okay? And we're going to talk about today how that's okay. We don't always need to be able to have the same perspective on things, but we're going to learn how we can respect each other even if we have different perspectives about the same situation. So we've been talking about understanding our own feelings and how others are feeling and how that's a part of empathy, and that has to do with understanding other people's perspectives as well. Okay, so we're going to see another story here. This one is about two boys and a sleepover that they're having together, two friends. So I want you to really pay attention to Alex and Randall and how they perceive the same situation very differently.
When my brother Randall was my age, he had a sleepover at our house with his friend Alex. Alex thought it went really well, but my brother, well, he had a different perspective.
Well, thanks again. We'll have to have Randall over real soon.
That'd be great.
Tonight? Can we do it tonight?
Oh, I think one sleepover per weekend is enough.
Bye, Randall. I slept over at Randall's house last night. We had a blast.
We can take out this side and then put that there instead. Okay, yeah. Alex slept over last night. It was the first time I had him over. It was okay, I guess.
Hey, cool, where'd you get this? We did everything.
He played with everything in my room.
We built this huge fort right in the middle of his room.
He moved everything all around.
We got to eat ice cream on his bed.
I think my mom has to wash my bedspread.
This is really
You're dripping.
His baseball card collection is the best.
And look at this one. It's signed.
Oh, cool.
I'll never get him back in order.
We stayed up way past midnight.
I was really tired, and I wanted to go to sleep, but he just wouldn't stop.
I like sleeping over.
I like my room to be neat.
I can't wait to do it again.
I don't think I ever want to do that again.
Okay, so we saw in that video that we had the same situation happen, which was the sleepover. But the two boys had very different perspectives about how they felt and what they thought about the sleepover. Okay, so let's start by thinking about Alex. Okay, Alex thought he had a great time. He did lots of fun stuff. He couldn't wait to do it again, right? And then on the other hand, do you remember how Randall felt at the very end? Right, he thought it wasn't fun. His room got really messed up. That made him feel really uncomfortable, and he wasn't sure if he wanted to have another sleepover. Okay, so they had very different perspectives about what happened. Think about how did Alex feel about the sleepover? What kind of feelings did he have? He was happy, he was excited, he wants to do it again. On the other hand, Randall's feelings were very different. He was sad, he was disappointed, you could tell he was getting frustrated, and he was tired because he didn't get a lot of sleep. He didn't like that. Okay. So we know they had different perspectives, but can they still be friends? Yes. Okay. People can have different perspectives and still be friends. Think about it for a minute. Is there ever a time where you and your friend experienced the same thing, but you had very different perspectives about it? If they try to see each other's perspective, what will happen to their friendship? So if they try to have empathy, understand how each other is feeling, and try to see each other's perspective, their friendship is going to get better and their friendship is going to grow. All right, so let's review. Can people perceive things differently and still be friends? We just said, yes, friends can have different perspectives as long as they respect each other's differences. Okay, and remember that's a part of having empathy, being able to understand how they're feeling and respect that. Why is it important to respect others' perspectives in school? Okay, so think about when you're in a school situation and you're not going to always have the same perspective as your classmates or even maybe your teachers. Okay, but why is it important to be able to respect their perspectives? Well, it's going to avoid getting into an argument, it'll strengthen your friendships, and it's going to help you get along better with others. Okay, this week for your home activity, you're going to be able to complete it a little differently. You're going to have a link in the Google Classroom to click on that goes with this lesson. And when you open the link, it will look like this. This week, you should be able to click on the boxes and be able to type just like that. Okay, so this week, the home activity is about your perspective and an adult's perspective. Okay, and you're going to see how you might perceive things differently than an adult in your house. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to write down your perspective or type in your perspective. The best time to do homework is, and then you're going to ask an adult what their perspective is. Okay, you're also going to try to predict what you think the other person is going to say before you ask them. So you're going to predict what the adult's perspective is going to be, and then they're going to predict what your perspective is going to be. And you're going to do that for a few different situations. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.